There's a quiet kind of intelligence that doesn't need to show off. It doesn't look for attention, praise, or recognition. It simply exists. But when you have it, life can feel lonely. Not because something is wrong with you, but because your mind works in ways most people can't follow. The Stoic philosophers understood this. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The intelligence of the universe is social, but the intelligence of man is often forced into solitude." He meant that the more aware and wise you become, the more you see through the illusions that others choose to believe. So if you often feel disconnected, not because you dislike people, but because their conversations drain you, their goals feel shallow, and their emotions seem wild, you might actually be thinking on a deeper level than most. Let's look at 4 signs that show you might be too intelligent for most people. Sign 1. You see through emotional manipulation. A deep thinker doesn't get easily controlled by anger, guilt, or pressure. When others react emotionally, you stay calm and watch. In today's world, people react quickly. They seek attention, reply to every insult, and let emotions control them. But wise people know this truth. Real power belongs to those who don't react. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When people try to provoke you, they expect chaos. They want you to lose control. But when you stay calm and silent, your peace unsettles them. And that's real strength. True intelligence isn't knowing everything. It's understanding yourself. You've trained your mind to pause before emotion takes over. You've built a mental fortress that protects your peace. Being calm isn't weakness, it's mastery. When you see through emotional games, you understand that most human behavior comes from fear and insecurity. So instead of judging, you detach. You save your energy for things that matter, for creating, not reacting. That's the first sign. You live by reason, patience, and clarity. You're not cold, you're composed. Sign 2. You find peace in solitude, not in validation. Most people can't stand silence. They fill their time with noise, social media, and distractions because they're scared to be alone with their thoughts. But deep thinkers know silence isn't empty. It's full of clarity. Seneca said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." Constant connection weakens the mind, but solitude strengthens it. When you spend time alone, your ideas become clearer, your emotions settle, and you stop caring about others' opinions. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's understanding. The Stoics practiced being alone not because they hated people, but because they wanted to master themselves first. When you embrace solitude, you stop chasing validation. You no longer need to prove your worth, you just live it. And here's the irony. When you stop trying to be accepted, people start respecting you. True intelligence doesn't argue to be right. It simply lives in a way that makes others reflect. That's the second sign. You find more peace in being alone than being surrounded. Solitude becomes your teacher, not your punishment. Sign 3. You stop trying to convince people who don't want to understand. Every deep thinker reaches this point. You realize not everyone deserves your energy. You can't wake up people who love ignorance. You can't reason with minds that only want to argue. This truth hurts, but also frees you, because intelligence isn't about proving your knowledge. It's knowing when to stay silent. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." A wise person doesn't defend their values. They live them. When you stop trying to convince others, your energy turns inward. You gain focus, peace, and power. Silence becomes your strength. Weak people argue to be right. Strong people live in truth even when alone. Truth doesn't need approval. It stands by itself. When your peace replaces your pride, you become untouchable. You realize that most people argue to feed their ego, not to find truth. When you rise above, your silence makes them uncomfortable because you're no longer playing their game. Epictetus said, "Anyone capable of angering you becomes your master." So the intelligent choose peace. They stop responding to every insult, stop explaining themselves, and walk away. Not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. That's the third sign. You stop needing to be understood because you already understand yourself. You become untouchable. Sign 4. You measure life by mastery, not approval. Truly intelligent people value self-control more than praise. Most people chase attention and compliments, but deep thinkers focus on mastering themselves. Seneca said, "It's not that life is short, but that we waste much of it." The wise know that chasing approval is pointless. They stop caring what others think because they've learned that depending on others' opinions makes you weak. Every time you seek approval, you lose a bit of your freedom. True power comes from self-mastery, not from being liked. So you stop performing for others. You stop hiding your truth for acceptance. You start asking yourself, does this help my growth? Does this strengthen my discipline? Does this align with my purpose? Those who live for approval are controlled by others. Those who live for mastery control themselves. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop needing validation because your worth is internal. When your confidence comes from within, no insult or praise can disturb your peace. You measure success by growth, discipline and clarity, not by likes, followers or attention. And in that quiet pursuit of mastery, you become magnetic. People respect you, not for your words, but for your presence. True intelligence doesn't look for the spotlight. It becomes the light itself. If this message gave you clarity and strength, remember this: the path of wisdom is walked silently, but its impact is powerful. Stay calm, stay disciplined, stay powerful.